Hello everyone and welcome to Discussing Trek, and the teaser trailer for season 3 of Strange New Worlds has dropped. Now it looks like we might be getting the origins of the holodeck as well as a possible Q reveal and zombie Klingons. Is that what I'm seeing there? Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the overall vibe of the trailer. We start things off with this fantastic grainy film roll type of intro with title cards emphasizing 10 new adventures, romance, mystery, touch of analog. Honestly, it feels like we're stepping back into a 1950s serial. And this meta narrative of the trailer is hitting all the right notes, acknowledging the legacy, but also doing kind of its own thing. And when you think about this campy tone of the trailer, I kind of want to say it's brilliant because it's setting the tone for the unexpected, even though what we actually might get in the season is probably going to be a little more grounded. But hey, Strange New Worlds is definitely not afraid to take those big swings, and if this trailer is any indication, it at least looks like they're having fun doing what they're doing. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, the holodeck. Now, part of me is hoping this tech is on a starbase somewhere and not on the actual Enterprise, especially considering Captain Pike's orders.
Damn holographic comm system. Tell Louvier to rip out the entire system. From now on, we'll communicate using good old-fashioned view screens.
But then again, Strange New Worlds loves to surprise us, so we'll see what happens. And if you remember in Discovery, the holographic projections were used mostly as a communications device, while we do see this brief scene of Lorca and Ash Tyler doing some tactical training with it as well. But this tech in the trailer is definitely hitting at early days TNG era holodeck, even witnessed from the grid that we see in the trailer. But let's back up a minute. Let's talk about the meta implications of this voiceover that we heard in the trailer.
We want to give audiences a reflection of their own world through the lens of fantasy. You know, science fiction.
All of that with weekly space adventures?
And that right there, that's Star Trek. It's our lens to complex issues disguised in these amazing space adventures. So the idea that the holodeck is going to be their in-world equivalent to that, a way to explore their narratives and maybe even their own society, I think that's pretty darn cool. And don't get me wrong, it does feel kind of weird for the holodeck to be in this era of Star Trek, but I think it's really just setting up the fact that something is going to go horribly wrong, as things always kind of do with the holodeck, and then the tech will be shelved until it can be retooled at a later date. Is Rhys Darby playing the Squire of Gothos? Fan theories that Trelane might be a Q might actually be becoming a reality in this season. And that snap. Now, unless they're throwing us off in misdirection, off on a whole nother scent, which could be the case, I think it's pretty much a shoe-in that they're going to confirm Trelane to be a Q. So shifting tones to something a little bit darker is the look of the Klingons. To me, it looks like they're zombie Klingons. Let me know what you think about it, but it looks like zombie Klingons to me. So I'm wondering, is that a result of a virus or maybe a retelling of the story of how we get the human-like Klingons in TOS? Maybe they're adding to the virus and the stuff we heard before, primarily in Star Trek Enterprise, of how the Klingons got their look in TOS. And that was kind of thrown asunder with Star Trek Discovery. So maybe they're revisiting that. Maybe they're trying to get the canon back in line to what we know. But you know, that's the funny thing with Strange New Worlds. You never know how much they're trying to get things in line with canon as we know it, or if they want to go take it off in a totally different direction, or even if the goal is to make it fully aligned. But I think this looks like some type of zombie virus thing, and maybe they're just expanding on the story we already know of the Klingon virus thing to make them look more human-like in TOS. One thing in the trailer that I'm really not excited to see, which, you know, I can see why some fans might be excited to see it expanded on a little bit, is the relationship of Spock and Nurse Chapel. I really honestly could care less about this, but I do think it's been well done. Now, we know we have Cillian O'Sullivan coming in to play a Roger Corby character. So again, we can fill in some gaps there to what we know from TOS, maybe give us some more information. But honestly, it's not what I'm clamoring to see. But if it's well done, and, you know, Stranger Worlds tends to usually be, I think they can really do a good job. So we'll see. Speaking of bridging the gap, what do you guys think of Scotty? It kind of throws me out of it, but I want to give it a chance because, like, even with the other characters that we know are legacy characters that are going to morph or move toward their characters until West, I think I needed time to really let that meld with me. I want to give this actor, Martin Quinn, a fair shake just to see more of him on screen. So I really hope that the character gravitates toward my liking a bit more as we move on. I'm open to a different interpretation. But yeah, and then we get a bit of that chemistry between Scotty and Kirk at the very end of the trailer. Yeah, if done well, I think it can really work. But I think of course, we do need him for this series to eventually get to the TOS era. So we'll see. Another notable mention is that we got Patton Oswalt coming on to play a Vulcan character. Really don't know where that's going. I know he's a huge Star Trek fan, talks about Star Trek in his comedy from time to time. So I'm really anxious to see what they do with him. Also, I think this could play into that Vulcan DNA morphing that we got with our crew in that clip that came out several months ago. So there you have it. Those are my initial thoughts on the Strange New World Season 3 teaser trailer. Huge props to showrunners Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonzo Myers. They are not afraid to take big swings, and that maybe should give me a little consternation, but it doesn't, because I think they've done such a great job with everything else, and it looks like they're not letting up on pushing the bounds and taking big swings going forward. So I'm just excited to see what they do with the show, because I think I trust them at this point. What did you think of the trailer? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, folks,